Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Fangchen. So today my topic is, can AI make us happier? A randomized experiment on AI's emotional impact. So this is a joint work with Professor Yifan Yu and my advisor, Professor Ashish Agrawal. And we're from McCombs School of Business at UT Austin. So since early 2000, many movies have dreamed a future where a robot can be humans' true friend. And today, 2 decades later, this imagination has become reality. So today I want to focus on the concept of emotional AI. So this type of AI, they can be aware of the conversational context. And through user interaction, they can recognize different types of emotions. Based on the detected emotions, they can simulate human-like empathy and provide different type of support. And more importantly, those AI, they can continue learning from users. The more information user provide to this AI can better personalize the next round of responses, next round of conversation for users. And the concept of emotional AI, it does attract some attention from industry. So several companies have started developing their own emotional AI products. For example, Character AI, it has built a platform, online platform for users to customize their own AI friends. And we see there are several news showing that people have some positive attitudes towards application of emotional AI because people feel that such kind of AI chatbots are promising to substitute part of the human counseling service. However, we do see some heartbreaking news. So two teenagers, one talked to Character AI last year and one talked to ChatGPT this year. They both committed suicide right after the conversation with AI. So it does point to the risky and dangerous side of AI interaction. And several research has looked into this uncertainty of AI chatbot. So traditionally, we have this conversational agent, and those agents are based on traditional machine learning algorithms. So they are proved to be effective for psychoeducation, and they can support human self-management. And when users talk to such kind of conversational agents, they usually satisfied what they get from such AI agent. And today, with advance in technology, we have this large language model powered agent. And several literature has focused on large language model powered agent and emotion. So one important note here is that we know there's a paper about AI and loneliness. So our focus is about the daily emotional fluctuation that is different from loneliness. Because loneliness is a long-term situation. It's hard to be changed just in one day or several hours. So if we focus on emotions, this dimension, some studies, they look at quality and they say that such AI agent, they mimic the behavior of low quality therapists rather than high quality therapists. So the quality is still an issue here. And also some studies point out that those AI agents, they are very hard to detect emotional crisis. And that is pretty dangerous, right? So one of the severe outcomes could be the dysfunctional dependence, like people relying too much on AI support, and that may affect their daily life. However, even given the existing literature on this topic, there's still limited understanding of the direct measure of users' emotional state, like their change of emotions right after AI interaction. So a lot of studies, they focus on the agent side, say how such agent perform to the users and how to improve or compare or evaluate such performance. So very limited studies, they focus on the user side, especially the direct measure of their emotional change. And also it's not clear about the mechanism. So what is the driver behind such emotional impact? And one point we want to add here is about senior people. So there are several products in market to target senior people, but it's not clear whether such AI chatbots are good enough for senior people to use to start the conversation with. Okay, so formally, we want to know that whether AI chatbot can provide intermediate emotional support to help people to improve their emotional state? And if yes, what is the mechanism behind such emotional impact? And more importantly, whether such AI chatbots are good enough to be used by all type of users, whether the benefits are equal across user group. So we did several different studies. So due to the time limit today, I will only present our main study. So for our main study, we hired 450 participants on Prolific, and we did a baseline surveys to collect their demographic information like age, gender, race, education, and income. And after that, we have a reflection questions to ask people to recall their primary issues that bother them the most. So this design is based on existing psychological literature. So they say that the reflection or the imagination can trigger people's emotional fluctuation. And after the reflection questions, we ask everyone to rate the intensity for 4 types of negative emotions like sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. So the selection of those 4 types is based on the emotional literature, the well-established classification. And we randomly assign people to 2 conditions, either the treatment condition, AI chatbot, or the control condition, reflective writing. So we use reflective writing as a baseline because a lot of psychological literature, they show that this is a valid and effective way for people to feel better. And also this is usually the first step when people, they want to seek help either online or offline. They need to tell people what is their problem right now. And for the AI chatbot, this treatment group, we design different versions of AI chatbot through prompt engineering, like feed them with specific counseling knowledge. And we find that like the fine-tuned models are a little bit better than the generic one, but the difference here are not significant. So that's why we integrate them together into one treatment condition here. And right after the interaction, we ask everyone to rate their emotion again for the same type of negative emotions. So we build our interactive systems so that we can have the access of each user's detailed conversation. Okay, let's look at the result. First one, the main question, like whether it's good for everyone to, use AI, whether it can provide some emotional benefit. So we create this negative emotion, this measure, by averaging the score across sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. And if we look at this figure, the gray bars represent emotional change in control group, and the blue bars represent treatment group. So we see that for people in the control group, they increase their negative emotion. That is because the benefit of reflective writing usually takes time to appear. So for the short term, for the intermediate impact here, there might be a psychological cost. Like people may feel discomfortable when they do the reflection. But if we look at the treatment group, we see people significantly reduce their negative emotions. That means AI chatbot can provide intermediate emotional support. And this type of support not only offsets the intermediate, psychological cost due to the reflection question, but even reduce the original level of negative emotions a lot. And we observe the consistent patterns across sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. So the main takeaway here is such AI chatbot can provide emotional support, especially to reduce the negative emotion here. So the next question is why? What is the mechanism behind such emotional benefit? So we tested 2 mediators here. The first one is social presence. So it's kind of the virtual companionship. Whether it's a feeling that someone is listening to them, make users feel better, make them reduce the negative emotions, or the second type, cognitive reappraisal, that means it's kind of the change in their cognitive process to reinterpret, rethink about their current issue or problems in a more positive way. And we see that those are 2 different dimensions because the social presence focuses on the interpersonal relationship, And the other one, cognitive reappraisal, focus on the intrapersonal cognitive side. And through our mediation analysis, we find cognitive reappraisal is the valid mediator here. While the use of AI can increase people's sense of social presence, but that is not the driver. It cannot explain the significant reduction in negative emotion here. All right, so let's move to the next question. So whether it's good for everyone to use it. Here we have two user groups, senior people and some younger adults. We see that for current generative AI model, younger people, they benefit the most. So they significantly reduce negative emotions right after the interaction with AI. But older adults or senior people, they barely change their negative emotion level. And that is consistent across sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. So the current model itself is not effective for senior people for now. And so people may wonder, what is the reason for this age disparity in emotional impact? So with these two types of analysis, the first one is linguistic feature analysis. So we analyze the conversation between human and the AI, and we selected 3 dimensions here. The first one is authenticity. So that measures how natural, how spontaneous the conversations are. So the higher score, the more improvement people can get after the interaction. And the big words means the number of words with at least 7 letters. So that is an indicator of language complexity. And the next one is analytical score. So whether AI use some formal and script language when they talk to users. And we see that compared to younger adults, when AI talk to senior people, they use more complex words, and they reduce spontaneous reactions. At the same time, they have more formal language. And the next question is whether AI just learn like senior people's preferences, whether it just reflect different like people from different age groups, they have different language preferences. So we did we did a check with the online post data from Reddit and analyze what kind of conversations that senior people like. And we find that AI is doing the opposite way. So senior people, they still like the spontaneous reaction, and they prefer simple and more natural language. So that might explain why senior people for now, they benefit less from AI chatbot. The second part, we did the conversational strategy analysis. So we label each AI response with a specific counseling strategy. For example, the affirmation and reassurance. That is whether AI validates users' emotion. For example, if users say, I'm sad today, whether AI says something like it's normal or it's common to feel in that way. And we see that for the first 3 strategies, there's no significant difference between 2 age groups. But for the last one, since AI, when it responds to senior people, it provides more information. And if we dive a little bit deeper to the details conversation between senior people and AI, we find that the actual information didn't bring actual value. So most of the times, the actual information is redundant here. And sometimes when AI is providing more information to senior people, it reduces the proportion of emotional support. And that may also explain why senior people benefit less from the current AI model. Okay, to summarize, so our study finds that AI chatbot can provide some immediate emotional benefits, especially to reduce negative emotions. And one valid mediator here is cognitive reappraisal, like to change people's cognitive process, like how to think about your current issue and your situation. And the benefits are not equal across age group. Senior people, they benefit less, or the current AI chatbot are not effective for senior people. And we also provide several implications. For example, we have shown some support that even the generic model itself has the potential to provide large-scale emotional support to average user in daily context. The second, we provide a way how to think about such kind of emotional impact here. So we offer a theoretical foundation here. And the last one is that we highlight the need to customize the design of AI chatbots based on the characteristics of different user groups. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I have more of them, but
Yes.
I love the what you've done on the like older population. I wonder. You were saying that older population they still like more spontaneous, for example. So why do you think because you were analyzing GPT language, right? So why do you think it was adapting? Did you tell it who it was interacting with? Did you know that it was interacting with an older, or why did you pull this stage?
Yeah, I think the reason here, we want to know how AI chatbot impact the older population, because such kind of populations are usually viewed as invisible users in the literature. Because when people they design a new system, a new technology, sometimes they may ignore the true need from the senior people. And we didn't tell GPT the age of each user, but from a user's question and then the way how they talk to AI chatbot, probably AI can detect and they can infer the age of this user and they change the strategy how to respond. Yes.
yes. I was thinking about the short and long-term effects of your study. Okay, so if AI chatbots produce sort of immediate short-term benefits, this is the implication. Wouldn't it make more sense for AI chatbots to be manning crisis hotlines?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? But on the other hand, crisis hotlines require a whole lot of responsibility. So it's a bit counterintuitive. Also, I was thinking, compared with other interventions, for instance, sports and exercise, they do elevate mood, right? So they make us feel happier. However, on the short term, whoever's done sports and exercise realizes that in the short term, it's not, right? So just your thoughts on those two aspects.
Yeah, I think for the first one, because we are trying to focus on someone who don't have any history of mental issue, because it's a little bit risky for the current stage of AI to directly talk to someone who has a true mental problems. So for the crisis hotline, so actually in our prompt, we try to avoid such kind of situation, because if someone who wanna do something like hurt themselves, we try to ask AI to stop the conversation right now and tell the users to ask for professional help. Because for the current stage, AI still needs human supervision, and it's a little bit dangerous and risky to test it for the true crisis. And for the spot, some activities can make people feel a little bit better in the short term, and some others may in the long term. I guess the long-term impact could be one of our next step to try. And this is just some immediate benefit, like how AI can provide some kind of help. Because when people they want to seek any kind of help, whether they talk to counselors or they want to talk to their friends on social media, the first thing is that they need to let the other party know their problems. But anyway, this process is painful, and we just want to know whether AI can mitigate and offset such kind of psychological cost. And it seems that AI, for now, it can provide the valid emotional support to users. Yes.
So related to the long-term, short-term thinking, what I thought about before, just it can interest in the future can be. So what I learned from psychological literature is that just introspection over time repeatedly to the definitely help. So I think the result for now, just instantly, it can be just not very it can be not very helpful in this elevating the mood. So maybe over time, maybe we just you even take a look at just whether just reflecting only just over time without ChatGPT or just AI, so that can be also helpful. But in that respect, still, I think that AI should be helpful because people can use that tool for reflection for over time. So that's just another way to look at it. But another just short question related to the senior part. My quick question is is there any difference in amount of conversation across the age group? So, for example, older age people they are a little bit slower. So, do they speak less fewer than the younger people? So, could you just take a look at that in the future?
No, we have the detailed conversation history, and we check what kind of problems, what kind of topics user talk to AI. But for the specific, language patterns,
The total amount of the words that you were used to work in those different.
no, actually, yeah, some senior is really there's a huge variation. So some people they have pretty long questions when they talk to AI, like pretty long message. But some others they have short message. It's really depends. Yeah.
Varies a lot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is there a difference in the type of stressors that they talk about? I'm guessing older people, especially, I don't know what the age cutoff that you're working with is, but they're facing mortality and, their stressors might be perhaps
Yes.
here that's harder to intervene.
Yeah, so we do the cutoff age is 60 years old, and we do have the record of what kind of stressors people have, and yeah, so for the senior people, they have some problem their family or their friends just passed away several weeks ago. They have this type of issues, but when we just focus on specific type of issue the relationship or family issues across all users, because other group of users may have the same type of issue. If we just focus on specific issue group, we don't see any significant difference. And also, we test several other things whether it's related to not only to the type of issues they talk to AI, but also their race or their education, income, several different things. And we find that the age here seems like it's a pretty clear disparity. Yeah.
Do you find the link with cognitive reappraisal with the older people too? Because that was the mediator, right? Does that hold? Does that relation hold? Right? Because it showed that cognitive reappraisal working, right? So is that link broken for older adults?
Well, it's not the link broken here. I remember when we did the analysis for senior people, it seems like cognitive reappraisal, it just how much, what level of cognitive reappraisal AI can trigger for this type of user is from the first pass through AI to cognitive reappraisal. So they feel that yeah.
One final question quickly, Shep.
Okay, I'm still getting over the fact that I'm a senior person, according to devastated by that. So there's just so much variance. If you look, for example, in any of these contexts where there's a coach, but if you look at therapists, anyone who's had more than one therapist, there's excellent and horrible. And it turns out in the world of AI, I know you look, I think it was you said that the prompts don't matter. But even if you look at ChatGPT and the custom GPT, there's 4 or 5 coaches. I'm playing with all of them. I teach well-being, so my students ask about it. There's some of them that are excellent, and some of them I yell at all the time to say that. And there's such variance. And I think, when we're comparing humans to AI is this changing thing. There's used variance among coaches for a certain context. There's 5 or 6 of them just on ChatGPT, but also every month they're improving, right? Or every so often they're improving very rapidly, changing much more quickly than the humans who are doing it, right? We might be learning new tricks, there's new hot things, but not as fast as AI. So I wonder if, and this isn't a criticism of you personally, even though you call me a senior, I'm trying to get over it, I'm trying, but I'm teasing you too, but it's the more important question is in comparing humans to AI, as much as what can we do to make AI even more effective? Thinking about who it's most effective for is also true, but the reality is AI is changing all the time. And coaches right now, even in this point of time, there's huge variance in quality. If anyone wants tips, I can tell you which ones to avoid. And so to me, it's much more relevant to say, is AI better than humans? More relevant than that is, what can we do to make each of these better, right? We're certainly forever, the field of psychology is always trying to make psychologists more effective and coaches. And then what can we do as people who are informed in behavioral science, which many of us, I think, are, to inform ways that AI can be more. Maybe that'll be different for seniors, who should be defined as people over 85, I think, and younger people, which would include people in their 60s. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the presenters, and we're going to now move to the networking part. Just one note: we have a poster session on this side of the campus. So as you mingle, enjoy a glass of wine or whatever, I would invite you to go check out the posters and provide some feedback and conversation also with our poster presenters. Okay, thank you very much.
The first part.
How far are you from being a senior? How was it like to
Which paper is representing either participant?
I'm sorry for messing it up.
Mouse. Like some So what's happening in the city?
It has 2 years ago.
So it's like
Any random
I think there's like a session between they're like, hey, we want to do this for no, it's okay. Yeah, full attention.
He's not great presentation.
Yeah, like
Just like the party.
a lot of like
I know.
yeah, I guess like the area is quite nice. Like, there are some nice areas. Very often.
I see what you're saying, yeah. No, I think we add that. We add that. Put our people, yeah, as you said, everyone together, like, random. Okay.
So the purpose of
Basic knowledge and good
right? Well, another problem, right? So like something as maybe just something is the avatar, whatever it is, technology.
No, they are, I completely agree. Thanks a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, because the delta is about
so at least one of the group, right?
And then that's
I think she was trying to
I used to work with a group. What I find out. At the level that
I actually think that
couple of ideas.
that's and then the older young have so many